Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with the Brigmore Witches DLC for Dishonored BLIND. Okay, door to the sewer. Sewer access key needed. Okay. Oh, damn it. Didn't want to do that, actually.
Come on, let's get
I guess now I have to.
Gonna feed you to the rat.
Help me!
Okay, I think that's the geezer, judging from his posture. History of Lizzie Stride. Have I read that? I read something about Lizzie Stride, but I don't think it was this. I have to pause for a second though, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. Little is known of Elizabeth Stride's origins, except that she hailed from Morley, rumored to be the daughter of a seamstress and a traveling cloth merchant. Stride was forced to flee Morley in her early years after strangling an abusive schoolmaster. She smuggled herself out of the city disguised as a boy and became a powder monkey on a navy ship. The ruse worked for a time, allowing her to see wonders and horrors that women in her society has always been denied. Her high spirit, charisma and fierceness propelled her to the top of the pecking order in the small ship-bound community of children, and they grew loyal to her. Inevitably, her deception was discovered by the ship's surgeon when she was injured during a storm. Before the doctor could report her, she rallied her powder monkeys to toss the man overboard. A bloody fight ensued, but the brief mutiny was crushed and many of her followers were put down. In the chaos, Lizzie and a handful of loyal boys managed to abandon ship in a skiff. Afterwards, they found employment for a few seasons with a cartographer working along the coasts of Pandesian continent to map estuaries. There, the crew of children grew into experienced and savage fighters. With the conclusion of the mapping expedition, the crew sailed back to Bristol. Once in Dunwall, Lizzie and her hardened friends carved a space for themselves in the streets culture of the city. Their nautical experience had them at home at the Renhaven River, a territory previously unclaimed by any gang. They recruited former sailors, pirates and defectors from other gangs. She took an unlikely lover, a naval aristocrat that arranged for her to carry proper merchant marine papers, giving them legitimacy in the eyes of the government, and allowing her to sail through territory normally restricted to merchants. Some of the same powder monkeys from the early years still follow her, helping pilot their cargo boat Undine up and down the Renhaven on smuggling missions. As the leader of the Dead Eels, Lizzie has almost a mythic reputation for ferocity. She files her teeth to a point and is even rumored to have webbed toes. Her enemies fear her unpredictable violence as much as they despise her. Nurse Trimble's lab. Empty elixir. Timer calibration. The calibration of my experiment timer is slightly off. This should be fixed immediately. I'd like to check on my experiments immediately after the bell chimes. I have this all perfectly timed from the bell ring to the walk to my lab. This should be a top priority after we return from restoring the water flow in the sewers.
Trimble's got good handwriting, which makes me distrust him.
Missing an empty vial. Okay, so I can make him think it's time for him to return. Recipe required. Before I do that, let me explore the place. The effects of whale oil on the gastric humors, except from a natural philosopher's notes on the effects of whale oil. One benefit of this plague is the abundance of unclaimed bodies readily available to the inquisitive medical mind. I have been able to stimulate gastric function in addition to other organ activity through infusions of whale oil and the application of electrical impulses. I believe such treatments could be applied to the living, and that it might prolong life indefinitely. When my process is applied to the stomach and the intestinal systems, digestion does in fact still occur, though the end product must be evacuated from the stomach through tubing and processed by my machinery before being recirculated to the appropriate organs. This was a tricky solution to come across, as my first inclination was to break the food down myself and bypass the natural process altogether. My subject has indicated that he no longer has a sense of taste, but this might be a mercy given what I'm feeding him these days. I don't understand this, because the beginning says about the abundance of unclaimed bodies, so I thought it was about reanimating the dead. The antitoxin formula needs the following: oxrush flour, I have this, bullrat fetus, I have this, and metallic salts, same as on the manufacturing floor. Okay, so I can create the antitoxin formula for myself, so that even if he floods everything with toxin, I'll still survive. Or I can put it into some... Better yet, maybe there's an option to... Oh, no, just drink it. So I would prefer if he didn't do it, because it's going to kill everyone else. I was thinking maybe I can put it to some kind of an air filtration system or whatever. Yeah, I will drink it, just in case. My primary patient is no longer mobile. A loss of bone density coupled with the amount of organ maintenance that I have to perform on a daily basis means that he will be bound to a chair or a bed for foreseeable future. While this greatly agitated the subject at first, he quickly grew too fatigued to offer further protest. I cleared a room close to my lab, but with access to the mill so that he could continue to give orders. After three weeks of progression, the yellowish sores have reappeared around implantation site C. I was hoping for a full recovery, as the highest concentration of whale oil was pumped into this site in particular. So he has been experimenting on him, the geezer. Interesting. Okay, I'll use this to make him think... to make him think it's time to come here, and when he does come here, I will knock him out.
Hatters, we have an intruder.
Wait, did the geezer just die? And did I save over it? Is the question. Are you alive? Just barely, I guess.
Dowd, quick, come close. Look at the pickle I'm in. Words out about your deal with Lizzie. I know why you're here. You want that engine coil? It's yours. You just have to do one thing, assassin. Kill me. This contraption, Trimble's machine, get it off me. Let me die. I'll give you what you want.
All I have to do is pull that oil tank?
No, not yet. Trimble's machine keeps me alive, but he's rigged it so that gas will flood the mill if I die. Insurance. Search Trimble's quarters. Upstairs, he has antitoxin he drinks every day, just in case I croak. You'll have to make some to survive the gas.
I've already taken the antitoxin.
Good. You're ready then.
It's done.
Good man. I guess you figured it out. You gotta kill me now. None of your fancy knife shit. Just pull out the oil tank. When it's out, I'll give you the code. Easiest job you ever pulled.
But won't that kill everyone else?
Hurry up. Thought you were a cold-eyed killer.
I do, I do want to help him die, because I'm all in favor of euthanasia, and, he's basically being tortured via illegal experiments. So that part I have no problem with, but I have a problem with everyone else dying as a result of that, possibly. I sent out our head mechanic into the sewers to try and get the water flowing in the canals again, but he hasn't been heard from since. We've lost other men trying to investigate what happened to him.
This guy never made it back. Wonder if he's still down there.
When replacing the whale oil tank that powers the pulmonary machine, you will have a preciously little time to do so. If you fail to be diligent and Mr. Hat perishes, you will release a toxic gas that will end your life and that of your fellow Hatters. Have a care.
Finish the job, kid, and I'll give you what you want.
Okay, I'll try going to the base. No admittance without Nurse Trimble. But he didn't want to talk to me, so I'm not sure what would have been different if I didn't knock him out. I tried to talk him first, but I'll try also to get to the basement first on my own and see what I can accomplish there. Because I'm worried about all of those people. They are going to die, are they not? Gone to look into the water flow situation in the sewers. If you need access to the engine room, talk to Nurse Trimble. He's the only other person with a door combination. Okay, I can't teleport through that. I guess I have to do it? Maybe I wouldn't have, but I wonder if there was a way to deal with Trimble, to reach some kind of an agreement with him, but the thing is, I didn't even want to do that much, because that guy is a monster. No, again, I have no problem with euthanizing Weezer. I think it's his right to end his own life. I have a problem with everyone else dying as a result of that. But I don't think I have a choice, so... maybe I had a choice before, but I saved over it 20 times, and even though I usually reload in case I get super screwed in terms of stealth, I would rather stick with the actual story decisions. So
It's out. What's the combination?
Dowd, you set me free, kid. Hatters are finished. That's good. And something. Wish it had been Lizzie. I gave her the password a long time ago, but she never came. Beautiful smile.
I need that combination.
Right. You did your part. The number is 40.
Yeah, this is super bad. I don't feel good about this in the slightest. But then I wouldn't felt good about leaving the guy in the hands of Trimble either, so I guess it's a lose-lose kind of situation. Where did I get the key from? If I had it, maybe I didn't have to... Okay, and now I feel even more bad if there was a way to just circumvent it all. Oh well, it is what it is. Wait, is that like a flashbang? Yeah, I guess it's the choking grenade. I'm not using it that much on humanoids either, so...
Not... Hello? You're not a weeper, are you? I think I can walk if you'll just help me up.
Are you alright?
Oh, sir, thank you for finding me. It's been awful. There are such terrible things down here. But nothing as terrible as I
guess she's one of the witches. There's one more. Oh, no, there's plenty more, actually. Rare and a few others went up ahead to the water control station to see why the water flow stopped, and they haven't returned. There have been reports of strange noises and a few of our new workers fled for the exit. If someone doesn't come to relieve me soon, I'm leaving this place. I am writing this so that you have it on record that I did not just abandon my station without cause.
You're going to suffer when I find you. Oh, I know you're here. This time, rat has got you. Come out! Now! I'll have your eyes!
Okay, first things first, let's deal with the rest of the witches. Oh, is that Delilah's statue? I guess so.
Dowd. Lurk told me you wouldn't give up, even as she knelt before me and gave me all your secrets. I know what you're doing, Dowd. I know what that mark on your hand is. Just like the one on mine. I know everything you can do, and it won't matter. 4 of us chosen, but history will only remember one. Delilah.
If they remember any of us.
Bolts shot from your wrist bow do much more damage, but they always break. I don't care about that. Regain health while submerged in water. Okay, this is potentially kind of cool, but I don't think it's cool enough to exchange one of my other abilities.
Don't be dense. She's afraid of us. When the change comes, she'll only want the weaker sisters nearby.
That makes no sense. Our power flows from Delilah. Without her, we'd be reduced to dancing under the moon and parlor tricks. You must be wrong.
Why else would she put us here, right in his path? I wish he'd hurry up and come already. And
okay, this is kind of screwed, but it is what it is. as a bunch of weepers. Someone took the wrench to the water flow control valve. Please have someone find it and return it to the water control station. Broken fan. Do not use the venting system until the fan monitor is replaced. The thing nearly came off its drive shaft. I will let you know when it's back up and ready to go. Okay, so when I guess it's going to like come off if I power it, so I am going to do that because I think I need to actually if I want to go forward. Okay, I guess this is the mechanic that has died, most likely. The outsider walks among us, or maybe not, because that's a weird message for a mechanic to leave.
You're putting it together, aren't you? It's not easy. Delilah's exceedingly bright. Her coven is rising, with her as the night star to guide them. Change is coming, and Delilah has a plan. But do you, Dowd? And I don't mean stealing an engine coil or slitting an old man's throat. You're charging upriver, and I do believe you'll make it. But what will you do with what you find there?
Okay, I'll take this. And then this, I guess. Yeah, I do feel very bad about everyone dying. I wonder how this will impact my my rating of chaos. Like, will those deaths be directly attributed to me? I guess she killed him after all. I wonder if there was another way of like making him disappear somehow. There probably should have been, right? It's usually how the game worked in the past.
Thinking about filing my teeth, like Lizzie Stride.
Oh well, it is what it is.
What you need all them fancy weapons for?
Blood in the streets. Reminds me of the Bottle Street mess we got into once.
The geezer mentioned you before he died.
He's really gone?
What's it matter?
Nothing. He was just a cracked old man. Reattach that coil, and we'll start upriver tonight. You are an endless source of adventure, Dowd. Please, do the honors, Dowd. Fire up the engine from the bridge. Get us underway.
I left Wakefield alive when I found him.
Sure, but you left him on my ship. Turns out the Undine's not a safe place to take a nap. All kinds of dangerous things lying about. Gaff hooks, sharp knives, rusty chains.
Got it.
I'm ready to put Coldridge far
So
behind us.
would he have lived if I
When we're
carried
back
him
out on the
away?
river, things will be right.
That's an interesting thing to consider, and I might check that on YouTube once I finish the DLC. Yeah, I guess I'm done. Hostiles killed 3. That is weird, because directly I have killed none. Civilians killed 2. I guess maybe all of those that died, but that would be more than that, wouldn't it? I do feel bad about it nonetheless, regardless, but overall chaos is still low, so maybe I can still get the good ending. Delilah and her coven are planning something that threatens everyone across the Empire of Isles. Infiltrate the ruins of Brigmore Manor and stop Delilah.
The Brigmores were an ancient family, bankrupted a generation ago. Since then, the manor has housed 2 street gangs, a smuggling ring, innumerable rats, and the Brigmore Witches. I'd always left them alone, but now a painter named Delilah had taken up witchcraft and formed a coven. She was trying something. A ritual. But what kind? The outsider knows. I cannot abide a mystery.
Your operatives will drop you a rune, some mana, and open the fence to allow you for a more stealthy approach to the estate. Sure. The former butler smuggled goods from the estate and hid them by the shore. One of your agents will unearth the cache for a price. Your agents have paid one of the witches to meet you and provide information. She'll be wearing a red jacket. Okay, I might... At this point, I might take... like the range. I might take anything, because to be honest, it seems to me the game is ending. Like, right? It is called the Brigmore Witches, and I am assaulting the base of the witches, which, you know, kind of screams final mission to me.
I scouted, sir. They've locked the front, and I've seen evidence of snares. Also, maybe it's nothing, but I spotted several statues of the woman Delilah. I don't know what it means, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
It means trouble. Anything else?
They're getting in and out of the house somehow, but I haven't spotted it. Sorry, sir. Best I can do.
Good enough. I'll take it from here.
Strange doings, sir. I killed a hound in the yard, and it got straight back up and went for me. I had to crush its skull, to be sure.
Okay, so they can come back from the dead? Maybe, possibly. Which, you know, might not be that big of a problem, because it's difficult to come back from the dead if you do not die in the first place. Dodd left Draper's ward on Lisa's Stride boat and could arrive within hours. Disable the grave switch. Isabel will lock the manor and wait for further instructions in the backyard. Is she the one in the red? No. She isn't the one in the red, which means I should probably take her out. Help on your assignment. Here, brother, I've sent you one of the strictures to guide you on your assignment to Brigmore. My hope is that heeding the warning of the sixth stricture will be the utmost of your troubles while dealing with those heretics.
I hope everything is in order, sir.
build up adrenaline much faster. I'm not building it up at all, because I don't kill anyone. They are onto me. The urn will have to stay here, Reggie, until we can return by boat and claim it. The Master's key, however, will go with me, and since you are nowhere to be seen, I have little choice but to scale the rocks by the waterfall and make my escape cross-country. Leave me out to dry on this one, and I'll put a bullet in your skull. Okay, he climbed near the waterfall, which is useful information because he might have died, and then he would have the master key with him, right? Is there a waterfall? I don't see any waterfall. However, my operatives were supposed to cut a hole in the fence, which I suppose is this? Or maybe this. Okay, I don't think anyone heard me yet. With Dawn on his way, Delilah made me disable the grave switch and put it in the garden shed. In the garden shed, you say? Okay, I'll look for it. They do literally come back from the dead. Which I guess they should be avoided instead of fought.
You're going to scout there. Sisters, over here. Get behind him. Lay down. Help me. A stranger is among us.
You must be frightened. Show yourself, little turd. Oh, I'll find you.
Nice.
I know you're here.
Rhymes of the Rosewater Hag. So far in the almanac we have catalogued many trite and ignorant, if somewhat harmless tales, but we must now turn to that special class of folk customs that can only be called wicked and pernicious. The worst of these is perhaps the rhyme of the Rosewater Hag. Variants of this accursed poem seem to predate even the founding of Dunwall, even though its ultimate origins are lost to us. As to its meaning, some consider it a tale of revenge by mother against her own daughter, others see it as a supplication meant to solicit the attention of some ancient spirit from the void. In any case, the ritual surrounding the poem is profusely morbid, and in many regions is used as a primitive means of settling the matter between the two parties where one has accused the other of falsehood. It is performed as followed. First, whoever is to be tested must find a fountain of standing water and cover the surface with a fallen rose petal. Once there are sufficient petals as to completely obscure the water, you must close your eyes firmly and place both hands within the fountain so that they are submerged beneath the blanket. Then you are to recite the following. Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she drowned beneath the mark? Has she vanished in the dark? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she thirsted by the well? Has she secrets left to tell? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, am I your daughter? After this, you must lean into the fountain, lowering your head fully into the water, and under the rose petals face first and both eyes still squeezed tight, count to 3 and then open your eyes. At the moment it is said that the Rosewater Hag will arrive. If you are without fault, you will see nothing, except that you will feel her gentle caress on the back of your neck. But if there is falsehood and wickedness in your heart, you will see the horrible face of the Rosewater Hag, a creature of indescribable horror. The hag will drown you in the fountain with a cord made of thorny vines. Obviously, while the Abbey takes such things seriously, most authorities classify this tale as superstitious nonsense. However, it must be noted that every year there are at least half a dozen of reports from the countryside of young women found dead and blue-faced, with their necks nicked and scratched as if by the color of thorns. The sixth stricture, restrict the wanton flesh. I read that already in the base game. A page torn from an old manuscript, written by the scrolling hand. Dreary waters, hissing daughters, crack 3 green shells and steal their pearls. Turn the spigot and drink from the misery of a broken house. Gulp and swallow, follow, follow. 3 wet marbles down the gullet. Do this for me, dearie, and I'll give you a birthday gift. Interestingly, it didn't give me a quest. Check the waterfall to see if the butler actually escaped. Yeah, I was trying to do that, but I didn't find the waterfall in the first place. Except from a children's book. In a verdant garden, kneeling quietly, Rosalind and her basket attend a gathering of crown roses. Rosalind bent, caressing one of the roses, and she brought the shears from behind her back, where they were hidden, as if they might spook the flowers. It was a small thing to take a life for her mother. As she brought the shears around, she pulled at a stem, readying it for the blade, but the flowers did not comply, and rewarded her thrust with a thorn buried in her thumb. A single drop of crimson welled from the wound before Rosalind could bring her thumb to her lips, and a hand closed around her wrist, her mother standing nearby, witness to all that has transpired. The rose has demanded its price, my love. Do not deny the flower its toll. Rosalind winced as her mother forced her hand over the flower bed and gently squeezed her thumb. 3 drops spattered onto the dry soil. As her mother walked away, Rosalind blinked away tears and gripped tight her shears. She left the garden basket brimming, and 3 crimson drops and 1 crimson flower, all that remained of once proud garden. The art of enchanting garden. Effective garden designs must entice the casual observer by drawing them through the garden gates with a promise of the idyllic. Once inside, it must continue to captivate the senses, compelling visitors to linger among the lush greenery and well-positioned decor, the tranquility of a solitary pool, the perfume of jasmine flowers, the drape of an ancient woody clematis. Across the estates of Dunwall, all those must serve to soothe and beguile those who venture into the well-tended garden of our gentry. Whether one of the manicured symmetry or illusion of the wild growth, certain fundamentals must always apply: variation of shape and size to excite the vision, cohesive themes to calm the spirit, and complementary scents and colors. As noted in the high-walled gardens of Lord and Lady Mornington Plough, place marble statues throughout as a means of transporting the visitor to the world of imagination, in keeping with the influential vision set forth by the beloved Bodyguard sisters, daughters of the late Jonathan and Olivia Suter. Coo to those visiting your manor garden with coordinated sounds, the soft splash of a fountain, the trickling of a stone-walled stream, and the rustle of Sarconan's sheath oaks from high above. Remember, a magical meeting place can be as simple as periwinkle draped bower over a crunching gravel pathway, or a pedestal bench nestled beneath the boughs of a crown willow. Okay, it's interesting that out of all of this, I didn't get a quest for performing the ritual for Granny Rags. I always did in the past.
And who might come to me? Here's a friend for you. Really, sister, you ought to have your mind on more important things. I will comb her hair again in the evening, and another time on the following night.
for us.
I guess the waterfall... Oh, come on. The waterfall must be somewhere else. Maybe behind the house?
Help me!
I guess I haven't explored the other side that much, because I retreated. What?
No sleep tonight. He'll be back again.
You must be frightened. Show yourself, little toad.
Is she the one in red that I'm supposed to talk to?
Watch for his shadow. Listen for the heels of his boots.
Sisters, over here!
Well, if so, then I startled her, and I guess it's game over for me in that regard.
And who might this be, I wonder? Come to the void.
Yeah, I'll just get out. Because I have the lever for the grave. Oh, it's just a statue of Delilah. It isn't moving. Okay, it doesn't really want to talk to me. I can get to the manor, but the problem is I don't really want to yet. Is there still stuff around? Oh, it moved again.
Come up to us. Quiet now.
Okay, this is very haggard. Yeah, I do consider this cheating. I specifically threw it into the ocean to get rid of it. There was a note that told me something about how to... What did they do with the skull of something that came up again, I think. Oh, okay, I just need to smash it. I don't feel bad about killing that, because whatever that was, I don't think it led a happy existence. It was some kind of a dog demon. So, you know. I will go around the house once more to try and gather the rest of the runes, but I will do it next time, because this episode has been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.